Canned foods are everywhere. They are convenient, affordable, and can last for months or even years on your shelf. Many people rely on canned beans, canned tomatoes, canned fish, soups, fruits, and vegetables as part of their daily diet. But what if some canned foods contain a chemical that can enter your body every time you eat them? That chemical is called Bisphenol A, better known as BPA. Today, we're going to examine what human research says about BPA in canned foods, the specific products that commonly contain it, and the potential health effects associated with long-term exposure. BPA is a chemical used in the epoxy resin lining found inside many metal food cans. Manufacturers use these linings to prevent corrosion, stop the metal from reacting with food, and extend shelf life. While these linings help keep food safe and fresh, research has shown that BPA can migrate from the can lining into the food itself. Human studies have demonstrated that eating canned foods can significantly increase BPA levels in the body. One controlled study found that people who consumed canned soup for several days experienced a dramatic increase in BPA levels in their urine compared to people who ate fresh soup. This showed that canned foods can be a major source of BPA exposure. But which canned foods contain the most BPA? Research has found BPA in a variety of canned products, including canned tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, canned beans, canned soups, canned tuna, canned salmon, canned sardines, canned fruits, canned vegetables, canned coconut milk, evaporated milk, condensed milk, canned chili, and some canned beverages. Among these products, canned tomatoes and tomato-based foods often contain some of the highest BPA levels. Scientists believe this is because tomatoes are acidic. The acidity can cause more BPA to leach from the can lining into the food. Imagine opening a can of tomato sauce, tomato paste, or canned tomatoes. Along with the nutrients in the tomatoes, small amounts of BPA may also be present due to the interaction between the acidic food and the can lining. Canned soups are another product that has attracted scientific attention. Human studies have repeatedly shown that consuming canned soups can substantially increase BPA exposure over a short period. Canned beans are also important to discuss. Black beans, kidney beans, baked beans, chickpeas, and other canned legumes may contain BPA if they are packaged in cans lined with BPA-containing resins. Canned fish products such as tuna, salmon, sardines, and mackerel can also contribute to BPA exposure. While fish themselves are nutritious sources of protein and omega-3 fatty acids, the can lining may introduce BPA into the food. Now let's talk about why scientists are concerned about BPA. BPA is known as an endocrine-disrupting chemical. This means it can interfere with the body's hormone system. Hormones regulate many critical functions, including growth, metabolism, reproduction, mood, and development. Human research has shown that BPA can mimic estrogen, one of the body's key hormones. Because of this, scientists have investigated whether BPA exposure may affect reproductive health. Several human studies have found associations between higher BPA levels and changes in reproductive hormones. Research has reported links between BPA exposure and reduced fertility, altered sperm quality, lower sperm concentration, and hormonal changes in both men and women. While these studies do not prove BPA directly causes reproductive problems, they suggest that BPA may interfere with the body's normal hormonal balance. Heart health is another area of concern. Large population studies have found that individuals with higher BPA levels are more likely to have cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure. Researchers believe BPA may contribute to inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which can damage blood vessels over time. Inflammation is the body's natural response to injury or infection. However, chronic inflammation can contribute to the development of heart disease. Some studies suggest BPA exposure may promote inflammatory processes within the body. Scientists have also investigated BPA's effects on metabolism. Human research has linked higher BPA exposure with obesity, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes. Insulin is the hormone responsible for helping cells absorb glucose from the bloodstream. When cells become resistant to insulin, blood sugar levels can rise, increasing the risk of diabetes. Several studies have found that people with higher BPA levels are more likely to have larger waist circumferences, higher body fat percentages, and metabolic abnormalities associated with obesity. Researchers believe BPA's hormone-disrupting effects may alter how the body regulates fat storage and energy balance. Pregnant women and developing babies may be particularly vulnerable to BPA exposure. Human studies have found associations between prenatal BPA exposure and developmental changes in children. Researchers have examined possible links to behavioral differences, altered hormone regulation, and changes in growth patterns. The developing fetus relies heavily on carefully regulated hormonal signals. Because BPA can interfere with these signals, scientists continue to investigate its potential effects during pregnancy. For this reason, many health organizations recommend that pregnant women take steps to reduce unnecessary BPA exposure whenever possible. Researchers have also explored BPA's effects on the immune system. Some human studies suggest BPA exposure may influence immune responses and inflammatory markers. Although the evidence is still emerging, scientists are investigating whether long-term exposure may contribute to immune system dysregulation. Another area of research involves certain cancers. Because BPA can mimic estrogen, scientists have studied whether it may influence hormone-sensitive cancers, such as breast cancer and prostate cancer. Human evidence remains limited and inconclusive, but ongoing research continues to explore the potential relationship. The good news is that BPA does not stay in the body indefinitely. Most BPA is broken down and excreted through urine relatively quickly. This means that reducing exposure can lower BPA levels in the body within a short period. So how can you reduce your exposure to BPA from canned foods? First, consider choosing fresh or frozen foods whenever possible. Second, look for products labeled BPA-free. Many manufacturers have switched to alternative can linings in response to consumer concerns. Third, choose foods packaged in glass jars or cartons when available. Fourth, rinse canned beans and vegetables before consuming them. While this will not remove all BPA exposure, it may reduce contact with liquids that have been in prolonged contact with the can lining. Finally, diversify your diet. Relying heavily on canned foods every day may increase BPA exposure. Including a variety of fresh, frozen, and minimally processed foods can help reduce your overall exposure. The bottom line is that human research clearly shows BPA from can linings can enter the body through foods such as canned tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, canned soups, beans, tuna, salmon, sardines, fruits, vegetables, coconut milk, and other canned products. Studies have linked higher BPA exposure to reproductive changes, metabolic disorders, cardiovascular disease, and developmental concerns. While many of these studies show associations rather than direct proof of harm, the evidence has been strong enough to encourage scientists and health authorities to continue monitoring BPA exposure and its potential effects on human health. Understanding where BPA is found and making informed food choices can help you reduce your exposure while still enjoying the convenience of canned foods. Your health is influenced not only by what you eat, but also by what your food comes packaged in.